Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of my podcast. Today's podcast are going to be on dreams. And as usual, I'm going to start this podcast off with a quote. You are never given a dream without also being given the power to make it come true. You will have to work for it, however. And that's a quote by Richard Bach. Now, I know that, like earlier in other episodes of my podcast, that we've talked about dreams, we've talked about goals, we've talked about purpose, and dreams are important. They're very important. And I feel like I know that this happened to me in my life, and I know it's not an isolated incident. So I know it's happened in other people's lives as well, and I've seen it in other people's lives. But I feel that a lot of people have lost touch with their dreams, have lost the ability, or don't practice dreams. And I'm saying, like, when you were a little kid, you had like vivid dreams, and you believed you could be this and you could be that, and the sky was the limit, and you just felt like you could do anything. Anything was possible, everything was possible. And then, as we go into the world and we experience hardships, we go into the world and we see the constraints that are placed on us because of maybe our situation in life, or because of what we have access to or don't have access to, how hard it can be to attain certain things or to exist in certain places throughout life. Then our dreams become pushed to the back of our minds, or they become unrealistic, and then we focus and get stuck in the realistic aspect of life, as opposed to keeping our dreams on the forefront of our minds. Like as a child, we want to be doctors, we want to be astronauts, we want to be scuba divers, we want to be, I don't know, some people want to be garbage men, and there's nothing wrong with that. But then we grow up and we see that maybe that attaining that career is a little bit more difficult than we thought. Maybe that career doesn't make as much money as we'd hoped that it made to support us. And there's a lot of things that sidetrack us or get us off of why we wanted to do that goal initially, and we end up chasing endeavors that at the end of the day, maybe the only reason why we're doing it is because we want the money, or because of the prestige that it gives us, or how other people perceive us. But you had that dream for a reason. And life is a journey, it's not a destination. And money can't buy happiness. Even though people seem happy, and it seems like it cures all their woes, more money, more problems. And we see people like movie stars and celebrities who are suffering from depression, take themselves into rehab. They participate in substance abuse and stuff like that. And I mean, not saying that other people don't, and that that's not a serious condition, but some of the underlying causes of them doing that stuff is because of depression and not finding true happiness in what they're doing, or how they're living, and the people they're surrounded by. Maybe they are living their dreams, but they just might not be in accord with who they are. Or I mean, it could be a lot of things. It's not any one thing. But I just said all of that to say that money is not the end all. There's a whole lot more to life than just having a lot of money, a lot of cars, and a lot of houses and stuff like that. There's things that money can't buy. And a dream, if you live in your dream, then you're in line with your heart's desire, and maybe the reason why you were put on this earth. I can't say if it is or isn't, because sometimes we have dreams that don't make sense, and they're kind of just whatever up in the air. But I mean, more often than not, that's the case. I know it was the case for me. I always dreamed that I wanted to fly. I mean, I had that dream since I was a little kid, and I accomplished it. Not to the magnitude that I would have liked to accomplish it, but I became a pilot, and I feel like I'm a better person for it. And it was awesome. It was an awesome experience. It is an awesome experience. Dreams are important no matter what age you are. Dreams encompass goals that give your life purpose, direction, and meaning. They can help us in shaping our life choices, help you build toward the future, and give you a sense of control. When you have a dream in mind, when you have a goal in mind or a purpose in mind, it gives you a reason to wake up in the morning. It gives you a reason to get up and say, I have this to do right now, or I have that to do right now, as opposed to just getting up and kind of kicking on the autopilot. Like, okay, I need to get up just in time enough to go to work. Then I need to hop in the shower, take a shower, eat a quick bowl of cereal, head out the door, go to work for someone else for 8 to 10 hours, and come back home, fix food, watch a little TV, and then go to bed. And that's if you don't have a family, because if you have a family, there's a whole lot of other things you got to fit into your 24 hours. But if you're living your dreams or you're living your purpose, then there's a reason for getting up, and you start to realize certain things in life. Like we all only have the same 24 hours within a day. So if you want to fully utilize that 24 hours, and you're in a position right now to where you can't 100% do your dream or work in your goal, then you need to wake up earlier or stay up late. And in that time, you need to be doing things that advance your goal, advance your purpose, advance why you're on this earth. Like if you want to be a pilot, I'm just saying this, I'm just throwing this out there because it's something that I know about. But if you want to be a pilot, you might not have the money to fly or to train, because it is expensive to get your pilot's license. You might not have the money to fly or train, but there are aeronautical books out there that you can get familiar with, like the principles of flight, how different flight surfaces work. You can watch YouTube videos about certain subjects. Granted, the actual tactile, getting the airplane, touching the controls and manipulating things is a little bit different. But at least when you get started, you won't be starting at zero. You'll have at least a little background knowledge of how things work. And we could be doing that instead of watching TV, or you could be doing that while you're watching TV, or you just got to find out times in the day and pockets in the day to use to be creating a knowledge base, or you could be using to further your goal or your dream. Even if you can't bring it to fruition at this point in time, you could do something that might help you later on, like gaining the background knowledge towards what you're trying to do. So how do dreams, I know we talked about, dreams give us purpose, but how do they give us purpose? They give us purpose because it makes us create goals. And in goals, we get a direction, and that direction creates a purpose. So if I know that I want to do something, I want to be a business owner, right? But I also know that I have to work 8 hours a day because my business hasn't been created yet. It's not up and running. I can't support myself off of this business. So a goal of mine would be to get up earlier before I have to go to work, before the family gets up or whatever, and maybe read some books, do some research on my craft, like find out, what I can do to make that dream a reality, And if you do that over and over and over again, your knowledge base is going to expand until you'll be in a position to take that first step. You'll say, okay, the first thing I need to do is secure my LLC. Bam, you'll do that. Now I need to get registered with the city and the county and all the IRS and all this other stuff. Bam, I did that. Now I need to open a bank account. Bam, I did that. Now I need to get prospective customers. Bam, I did that. Now I need to, make adjustments along the way, shift my business and make it more user friendly, more customer friendly. Bam, I did that, And then as, efforts compound and as your knowledge grows, then you'll have to start making bigger and bigger decisions, like what building do I need to buy? Where do I need to be located? Stuff like that. But it all starts with a dream or a purpose. And then you create goals, and those goals help give you direction to what you need to be doing. Instead of just sitting here, not giving any legs to your dream and saying, oh, I wish I could do this, I wish I could do that. But the actions that you take on a daily basis don't show that that's the type of life that you want to live. If you're saying, I want to be a business owner, but every day you wake up and you just wake up in time enough to go to work. You don't wake up and or early enough to do anything for yourself. Then your actions are not in line with your thought process. It's just a dream at that point. It's not gonna come to fruition because you're not doing anything to make it come to fruition. You know, it takes effort. You don't get something for nothing. Faith without works is dead. So you have to put some type of effort. You have to put hard work and dedication into your dreams to make them come alive. They're not just going to fly out of your head, out of your subconscious, and come into the real world. You have to do some type of hard work. You have to put forth some type of effort in order for your dreams to come true. And again, like we've said in other podcasts, just look to the people who are in the position that you want to be in, who are living the lives that you want to live, like Elon Musk, like Oprah Winfrey, Jay-Z, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. Like, look at the work ethic of those people, like how they wake up early, they stay up late, like when other people are partying, they're practicing or they're working on their craft, stuff like that. That's the mindset that we got to be in if we want to get our dreams to elevate us. If we want to elevate to our dreams, as a matter of fact, because our dreams are usually up here. Nobody dreams of being, at the bottom of the bucket. Everybody wants to be, happy. Everybody wants to be healthy. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants, some people want fame. Some people want, tons of houses. Some people want tons of cars, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you think that you're going to get that type of stuff without putting forth any effort or any type of hard work, or losing sleep, or not being able to party, or not being able to always go on vacations, and having to restrict stuff and save money so that you can, afford this in the future for your business, then, you're not living realistically. Because again, if you look at those people who are living the lives you want to live, they've given up a lot in order to be where they are right now. In order to live a life that nobody else does, then you have to do what nobody else will. Somewhere in the process of growing older, some of us lose touch with our dreams. Or we still have them, but we place them in the back of our minds for a later date. We talked about this in the introduction, how, we grow older and then we are put in a position to where we have to live more realistically. Like, hey, it's not realistic to want to be a millionaire. Focus on your dreams not focus on your dreams. I apologize. It's not realistic to be a millionaire. Focus on this 9-to-5 job and just, be content with working for 20 years, get your retirement. And then maybe, hopefully, if the economy hasn't fallen through, or if you haven't spent your money frivolously throughout your life, then maybe you can have some semblance of retirement before you pass away. Like, that's not the life I want to live. And I don't think that's the life that you want to live as well. You want to be happy. You want to, be able to spend time with your family. You want to be able to provide for your family. You want to be able to provide for yourself if you're independent and you don't have a family. You want to be able to live in a house in a good neighborhood. You want a car that doesn't have problems and is reliable. People want those things, and it's okay to want it, but are you willing to put in the work? A dream is a dream until you make a plan, or until you create goals, and until you have, you generate a why. Like, a dream could be something awesome to obtain. It could be something, that you look up to, or that motivates you in times of darkness and stuff like that. But when you create that dream, you need to create a why with that dream. And we've talked about why it's important to have a why, because that why creates purpose. So why do you want to accomplish that dream? Why is it so important that you accomplish that dream? What will that dream enable you to be able to do? Or what type of lifestyle will it enable you to be able to create or affect other people, like, or have an effect on other people, like family members and stuff like that. All those movie stars, athletes, and stuff like that, they all have whys. They had whys, and those whys to this day keep them going. Like a lot of times I like to listen to Kobe Bryant's Obsession on YouTube, and he talks about how obsessed he was about the game, how obsessed he was about winning and stuff. And when you listen to that stuff and you hear stories from other athletes about how Kobe was obsessed about his craft, it shows in his work. Like there's no question that he wasn't obsessed about his craft. It shows in his work. He had a dream to be an NBA player. He became an NBA player. And then not only he didn't stop when he became an NBA player, but he kept going until he became one of the best NBA players on a consistent basis. It's not like he passed away or he retired and they would talk about, oh, he's possibly one of the best NBA players ever. No, they were having that conversation while he was coming up. I remember them saying that when I was growing up, that he was possibly one of the best NBA players ever. And that was before LeBron. So, I mean, your actions need to line up with your words. I said that to say this, that your actions need to line up with your words. If your dream has a big enough why, and that why gives you purpose, you create goals in order to get to that purpose, to get to that dream, then your actions should be in line with what you're saying, with your words. The later date is an illusion. We don't know how much time we do or don't have. Tomorrow is not promised. Tomorrow is not promised. Time is the biggest illusion. We always think, oh, I'll do this later, I'll do this later, I'll do this later. Later may not come. Time waits for no man. And, unfortunately, some people have very short times on this earth, while others have long time. They live to 104, 105 years old. But tomorrow is not promised. So do what you need to do today. Don't wait for the perfect set of scenarios. You need to learn how to dance in the rain. You need to learn how to get after it when you don't feel like it, how to wake up when you don't feel like it. If your alarm clock goes off, or if you've agreed with yourself that you're going to wake up at a certain time or do something at a certain time, go to the gym late at night, then you need to do that. After you get off work and you say, hey, I'm going to go to the gym, but then work goes bad and you feel tired and you're like, man, I don't really feel like going to the gym. That's the time you need to go to the gym the most. Or that time in the morning that your alarm clock is going off and you're trying to roll over and ignore it and you're like, I don't really feel like waking up this early today. Those are the times that you need to wake up and you need to, push yourself the most. Because in those moments of your mind battling against what you want and what you need to do, you're reinforcing that behavior by choosing which one you're going to do. So choose the harder of the two so that hard becomes easy. In the future, it doesn't become so difficult to make the choice because you know that this is the choice that you need to make in order to make your dreams a reality. Don't let fear be a consideration in going after your dreams. Dare to think. You can be anything that you want to be. You could do anything that you want to do. There are tons of stories out there of people who had no money, who are homeless, who came up from nothing, and now they're these 1 in a million people with these crazy backstories. I mean, anything is possible. Anything that you want to do is possible. You're not too old. You're not too young. You're not too dumb. You're not too ugly. Like, anything you want to do is possible. And if people say no to you on a continual basis, then create your own way, create your own path. If, like I was said in my older podcast when I was talking about, when I was in the Marine Corps and I was an engineer, and we always had like a secondary site that we would use in order to get into some place. If our primary didn't work, we had a secondary. So if somebody says no to you, if that door is closed or if that door won't open, make another door or just try another avenue of approach. Don't let any one person control your future, control your destiny. No does not mean no forever. It just means maybe not right now, or maybe you need to try another way. Don't be discouraged. It's all about how many times you're willing to fall and get back up, and you want to get back up more times than you fall. It's all on you. Everything is on you. It begins with you. You are the one constant in your life. Everything that is or ever was started in the mind. It was once a dream. We've talked about that in podcasts before. If you look at airplanes, buildings, subway systems, plumbing, you name it. I mean, it all started in the creator's mind. It was a dream. Like someday one person was sitting somewhere under a tree chilling or whatever, and a vision came to him or a dream came to him, and they'd be like, man, this would be a cool invention, or this would be cool to create. And then they created it. The Wright brothers saw the Wright flyer in their mind first, and then they took it, put it to paper, created the specs for it, and then created it in real life. It all starts with a dream. That's why dreaming is so important, because without dreams, how will we create? What without imagination in our lives, how will we have hope? That there is a better future, or that there's a better existence than what we're currently living or going through at this point in time. Dreaming and imagining can save our lives, quite literally. Hope is built upon imagination, because you have to imagine that there's a better existence, better time, better circumstances than what's right now, and you hope that things will move and get to that in whatever period of time, or at a future date. And then you have faith that what you're doing on a daily basis will create the ladder that'll help you get out of this hole, or to get out of this valley and get back on top of the mountain. It's never too late to go after your dreams. Never. Always dream, and always be willing to do what you need to do to go after it. I've heard stories about older individuals running Ironman competitions. That's no joke. I've never ran an Ironman competition. I don't consider myself to be old. And these people are out here swimming, biking, and running insane distances. What I would feel would be insane distances. But they're out here getting after it because they believe that they can. And they train. They dream of doing something. That dream gives them a purpose to wake up in the morning and do what they need to do. So they create goals in reference to that dream and that purpose. And those goals help give them direction. Daily affirm what you want, and it can be yours. Belief is strong. We talked about affirmations, I think, 1 or 2 podcasts before this one. Affirmations are very, very important, because affirmations are the internal language that you have with yourself. They usually begin with the I am statement, like I am healthy, I am strong, I am intelligent, and the conversation that we have with ourselves, the stuff that we put out there in the universe is being heard. Like when we say, man, I'm so stupid, that stuff is not just words that aren't being attached to anything. Like, you're listening to that type of stuff. When you're saying negative things, you're listening, and your mind is dwelling on that. And through the power of compounding, if you keep repeating that stuff to yourself over and over again, then eventually, your body's gonna say, hey, you're stupid. And then you're gonna start exhibiting the behaviors of what you think a stupid person is, or what a stupid person is, or hey, I'm always a failure, or I'm always broke, or I'm always this, I'm always that. Like, your body, you are listening to what you say, whether it's, out loud or it's internally. So your dialogue that you have with yourself is important, is extremely important. We need to watch what we say about ourselves, because you need to be your own cheerleader. Like, nobody's going to be there for you 100% of the time except for yourself. You were born, it was you by yourself. When you pass away, it'll be you by yourself. And along those 2 dates, we pick up friends and families who will support us, but really and truly, sometimes we can depend on them, sometimes we can't. But at the end of the day, it's just going to be us. It's going to be up to us to accomplish our dreams, our purpose, and what we feel is our reason for living on this earth.